speaking of dumb and experience being a teacher, Ja Morant again flashing a gun on Instagram Live. His homeboy trying to get some clout, putting Ja Morant on Instagram Live, showing like, yo, I'm hanging with him. But you saw, like, even he knew, like, oh, fuck. Hey, dumbass, put the fucking gun down. What is he doing, man?
Trying to prove something. It feels like, I don't know, at this point, yeah, it's just like, it's so beyond like being normal. It's just the dumbest thing you can imagine. He's suspended right now. The dude's probably gonna lose clear most all of his endorsements at this point. Nike didn't even drop him over the last one, but they have to drop him over this one. Right?
Have to. It blows my mind that you're making the same mistake. And this isn't even we're not even a couple months removed from the last one when you went to rehab or whatever it is for 6 days. And then they told you.
Like, it was a seminar, counseling. And
they said he was good so that way he could make playoffs. So he could play in the playoffs. But you're making these same dumbass mistakes. Like, man, you are fucking up your bag. Like, you are fucking up your money. And you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. I get guys want to hang out with all their friend groups and they don't want to forget where they came from. And they want to, there's a part of success that you want your circle to experience with you, right? You want to uplift them too. You feel like you are now in a position and there's a part of you that also wants to help your friends. But you got to know that you're not going the same direction your friends are going. And I'm not saying your friends are going in bad directions. I'm just saying, like, all of us right now sitting on this bus, we all have different goals and ambitions in mind. Yes, we're all in the same circle right now working together and everything else, but we all have different ambitions and different trajectories in our life. That at some point is going to split us up. Doesn't mean we're not going to be friends anymore. We can't be homies. It doesn't mean, oh, he's changed up because he thinks he's leveled up. He's gotten money now and gotten this, had this sense of fame and everything else. And that's speaking to, experience with my own self. I'm not saying I ever had friends that would try and get me to buy stuff. Like, I've had friends who've asked, like, hey, can you float me this amount of money? Can you buy this for me? Can you buy that for me? And when I would say no, I'm sure in their mind, like, why can't Comp help me out? Or why can't Will help me out or do X, Y, and Z? And you just have to know that you have to take care of yourself first. And just because you've attained all this success doesn't mean everybody else can be in it. And I know I'm kind of getting on a tangent that's outside of him flashing the gun. I'm saying that you've got to get out of that influence. Like, you are who you surround yourself with. You've got to start surrounding yourself with the right people. You have your parents work their ass off, or people in your life. I don't know his family life. I don't know how he grew up, but there's a lot of people and mentors and teachers and people that I'm sure have tried doing everything possible to put him in a situation to where it's like, you're there, man, fucking go take it and run from it. Like, don't look back. Don't look back and not be friends with your boys anymore. If you want to help them out, you got to figure out ways to balance that life of doing what you need to do and what you were put on this earth to do and what your purpose is right now, and figuring out how to balance your family and home life and friend life going on, because you're in a different world now, man. And people that are screaming the whole, what's the problem? Like, Second Amendment, like, has he done anything wrong? It doesn't matter. The NBA is a private institution. It's like, you got to make the right choices. If it's like you're allowed to smoke weed as long as you don't go past this certain threshold and test positive, right? And weed is legal in some states, but those states, like, guys are going to be on camera fucking promoting weed and smoking weed and doing all this stuff. That's dumb as shit. Or chugging and binge drinking. Obviously, I was on the yak, shout out the case race. But, like, you're not going to be doing all this dumb stuff because you are now an employee to a private entity. They can handle it however they want to. And flashing the gun and doing this and that, to whether it's you're doing some type of signaling to show, like, what type of life you live and you got to gangbang or live this certain life to impress people that you ultimately don't give a fuck about, and to stunt and to flex, like, that's just the wrong path, man. And you're fucking up millions, tens, even I'm reading articles to where you're potentially fucking up over hundreds of millions of dollars, man. For what? For what? To be on Instagram Live and kick it with your homies? Your boys should know that, like, get better fucking people in your life. And I know that's easier said than done, and there's a process with it, but it sounds like he doesn't have the right influences in his life to actually check him, right? It's a similar situation. It's not like a fucking, it's apples to oranges, but Antonio Brown's kind of falling out of the league and everything else. Like, you're surrounding yourself with these yes men and people who fucking care about the wrong shit, and they're just telling you what you need to hear. That's kind of my take on not knowing entirely all the ins and outs of this situation, but seeing the headlines of a player like Ja Morant and the talent that he has and the opportunities that he has, and he's going to get 9 lives in this world. Like, that's how it works. He's that talented, but you have to understand the opportunity that you do have, and figure it out, man. Because you're fucking up so many things for not only yourself, but the longevity of yourself and other people that are in your closest circle, which is probably his family. Hopefully, he's got good people.
He does, because he like grew up in a pretty solid home. Like, everybody on Twitter is calling him Clarence from 8 Mile.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What do you mean by grew up in a good home?
So like, dual parent household. I'm pretty sure he went to a private school, and whatever his real name is, it's like something similar to the whole Clarence thing.
Oh man.
So it's like he didn't grow up like gang banging.
Yeah, I just, it's unfortunate, man. Like,
yeah. Yeah, they just everybody on Twitter has just been dropping all the Clarence stuff on him.
That's tough, man. But he does, like, there needs to be some kind of wake up call that he has, because he's blowing such an opportunity. And even when he gets it back, there's like, it's that quote by like Warren Buffett. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Like, even if you get that, he's gonna again get more lives and more opportunities to make money and everything else. But building that reputation back, like, it's so stained by some of these mistakes and choices that you're making, all because you want to surround yourself with, it seems like, the wrong fucking people, man. And I'm telling you, like, there's room to still have your friends that you have and still be on the trajectory that you want to be on with everything else. But everybody's going in different paths, and you got to weed out the toxic, the cancer, the people that could essentially pull you down or take away from the opportunity, the ultimate goal that he does, I'm sure, want, which is being a great player in basketball and everything else. I don't know, but I know it shouldn't be fucking gang banging and wanting to flash guns and everything else.
He would have been qualified this year. He was supposed to peak, and everything that happened this season with the whole gun and stuff like that may have cost him upwards of, like, I want to say it was like $30 to $50 million on his contract, because he wasn't qualified for the super max. So he had to sign a max deal with the Grizzlies, which is still a lot of money. But I mean, that's a perfect example of, you missing out and leaving money on the table.
Yeah, fucking up your money from a business sense, right? And even from a personal sense and personal development and everything else. Like, you gotta, you might get thrown into the fire. Who doesn't get thrown into the fire at some point in their life, to where they're thrusted into something that they might not be, their maturity might not be ready for. But you got to figure out how to grow up and grow up faster than what you're doing right now and falling into these same mistakes. You've got to fucking learn and not be an air repeater. Like, that's what's going to get your stuff, put you in a bad position within your career and everything else, man.
So over the 8 games that he was suspended, it cost him $669,000.
Dude, say that again.
$669,000.
Man. And again, like, you say a number like that, and to somebody of that, in that type of spotlight, it's not a whole lot of money for somebody who can make 40 to 50 and stuff like that. So he could balk at that, right? But for somebody to be in a position like that, to have those opportunities, and you're just taking them for granted, it's just sad to see, because you hate to see talent. You hate to see somebody who has the ability and who has the potential, and piss it away over just dumb shit. And I hate too, you got people out there politicizing it now a little bit, talking about the Second Amendment and what is he doing, or what's so wrong with this. And, I saw somebody, I forget who it was, but what's he doing wrong here? Is he doing anything illegal? And it's like, bro, like, that's not the conversation. He's an employee of the NBA, and he's a superstar in the NBA. And he's doing the same bullshit. But hopefully he gets right, man. Hopefully he listens to the
Begs the
podcast.
question: Are athletes overpaid?